Welcome to Big Daddy Storytime. We're reading Walt Disney's Donald Duck and the Magic Mailbox. Can you see Donald Duck there? And Huey, Dewey, and Louie? You can see him? Great job. Would you like to read a story about Donald Duck and the Magic Mailbox? You would? Okay, let's get started on it. Donald Duck looked into his mailbox and he sighed, 4 bills, 2 letters marked postage due, and a menu from the Zippy Pizza Parlor, he complained. Ah, all I ever find in the mailbox is dull stuff like that. Why can't I ever get any good mail? It could be worse, Uncle Donald, said his nephew Louie. Kids like us never get any mail at all, said his nephew Dewey, except for reminders from the doctor when our shots are due, added his nephew Huey. Just then, a rattly old paneled truck with a sign, Antiques Buy and Sell, painted on its side came chugging down the street. It stopped in front of Uncle Donald's house, and a chubby man with bright, cheerful eyes leaned out. "My dear fellows," said the man, "do you know what a dull, ordinary mailbox you have?" "I suppose so," said Donald. I know that it's always full of dull, ordinary mail. "But picking up the Daily Mail should be a happy, sparkling adventure," said the man. "And it would be if you had this." And from inside his truck the man brought out a most delightful mailbox. It was a gem of a mailbox. It looked like a little house. Painted vines grew up the walls to the red tile roof. The front door opened on tiny brass hinges so that the postman could put letters inside. "Charming, isn't it?" said the man. "And there isn't another one like it in all the world. Now you seem like nice folk, so I'd let you have it for a special price. Only $10.95. Uncle Donald laughed. "It is cute," he said. So he gave the man $10.95. The man handed over the mailbox and drove off in his rattly truck. "I don't suppose it will really make any difference," said Donald. He took down the old mailbox and put the new mailbox in its place. "I'll still get the same old dull mail, though, and we won't get any mail at all," said the boys. Donald was wrong. The boys were wrong too. For the next morning, when they went out to get the mail, they didn't find any bills or letters marked postage due. There was only one envelope in the new mailbox. It was addressed to Dewey. "Wow!" he cried, "my very own letter." Then he opened the letter and read it. It began to run around, and he began to run around in small, cheerful circles. "I've been picked from all the kids who will go to the Duckburg School," he shouted. "Today I'm a guest of honor at Bingling Brothers Circus. They don't know me. Well, they don't want me to be lonely, so they sent 4 tickets. I can bring 3 friends. Oh boy!" So Huey, Dewey, and Louie and Donald went off to the circus, which was a very fine circus indeed. They saw lions and tigers and elephants and acrobats. They sat in box seats and they had their pictures taken for the newspapers. "Maybe the new mailbox is a lucky mailbox," said Dewey. "I never got circus tickets before." "The mailbox had nothing to do with it," said Donald. You've just gotten the tickets. You'd have gotten the tickets anyway, that is." But the next morning, Donald began to wonder about the new mailbox. For the next morning, there was a letter for Huey in the new mailbox. When Huey read the letter, he turned hand sprints across the front lawn. "The Duckburg Diving School is giving away scuba gear," he cried. "I'm getting 4 sets so I can go diving with 3 friends." So Huey, Dewey, and Louie and Donald spent a grand day diving in the ocean. They chased the little fish and raced with the big fish. Dewey was quite sure that he saw a mermaid dodge away and hide behind a reef, he said. Why not? He said. We have a magic mailbox that brings keen letters to kids. Why couldn't there really be a mermaid? Oh, fiddle faddle, said Donald. We have a mailbox that looks like a house. It's cute, but it's not magic. On the third day, however, Donald was waiting as eagerly as the boys for the postman to pass. That was nothing for Donald in the mailbox, but there was a letter for Louie. Oh, yippee! Yelled Louie. It's from the Duckburg Sporting Goods Store. They picked me to be Duckburg's Outdoor Kid of the Month. I won a tent and 4 sleeping bags so I can go camping with 3 friends. Great, said Donald. We'll all go. So Donald and the boys spent the weekend camping in the mountains. They hiked the trails to the high peaks. They fished for trout in the clear, sparkling streams. On Sunday night, Donald and the boys packed and headed for home. They wanted to be up early on Monday to wait for the mailman. Dewey had a letter from the circus, said Donald. Huey had one from the diving school. Louie had one from the sporting goods store. If that mailbox ever has letters for grown-ups, it will be my turn tomorrow. Sure enough, there was a letter for Donald the next morning. It wasn't from a circus or a diving school or a sporting goods store. It was from Grandma Duck. Dear Donald, said the note, please look in the shops in town and try to find a mailbox for me. I had one shaped like a little house with doors that opened on tiny brass hinges. Last week I had a garage sale. While I was out in the corn patch, Gus Gooch was minding the sale, and he sold the mailbox by mistake. I guess the mailbox isn't really ours, said Louie, when Donald had finished the letter. I guess it belongs to Grandma, said Huey, and we gotta give it back, added Dewey. Donald sighed a mighty sigh. Then he took down the magic mailbox. He and the boys got into the car and set out for Grandma Duck's farm. There's one nice thing about this, said Donald as they turned in at Grandma's lane. I can't think of anyone who deserves to get goodies in the mail more than Grandma deserves to get goodies in the mail. Grandma was terribly pleased when she saw the mailbox. Why, you found one exactly like mine, she said. We think it's the same mailbox, said Donald. We think the antique dealers who sold it to us got it from you at your garage sale. By the way, where did you get it? It was in the attic when I moved into this house, said Grandma. I just never got around to putting it up until last week. I see, said Donald in a sad little voice. Then he fastened the mailbox to Grandma's fence post, and he and the boys drove home. Donald put up his dreary old mailbox again, and he started to get dull, ordinary mail. He got bills and another menu from Zippy Pizza's parlor, and the boys got no mail at all. It would have been very, very boring, except for the notes that Grandma sent every few days. In Grandma's notes, she always invited Donald and the boys to hurry out to the farm to share the exciting things that had started arriving in Grandma's mailbox. You can believe that Donald and the boys always did hurry out to the farm, and there they found heaps of marvelous things, things like beach balls, and bathing suits, and bicycles, and hiking boots. And when Donald and the little ducks had finished trying on the bathing suits and playing with the beach balls, they always had dinner with Grandma Duck. They had corn fritters and apple pie and shortcake and all manner of good things to eat. And after dinner, they always agreed that it's a far, far better to have a grandma with a magic mailbox than to have a magic mailbox yourself. If you don't think so, perhaps you can be excused, Perhaps perhaps you've never had dinner with Grandma Duck, that is. What have we learned today, my friends? We learned from Donald Duck, Grandma Duck, Huey, Dewey, and Louie that even a magic mailbox with almost everything cannot replace the precious time we spend with family and friends. Have a blessed day, my friends. Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more Big Daddy Story Time. God bless.